Kiddos, we're going to read Little Legends, The Spell Thief by Tom Percival. The first chapter is called A Ship Comes In. Jack walked through the deep, dark woods with his pet hen Betsy tucked under one arm. He took a deep breath of the woodland air. It smelled fresh and exciting. Today was going to be a good day, he could just tell. He walked toward a small wooden cottage surrounded by a well-kept wooden fence. There was a fountain in the garden, also made of wood. But instead of water, it was blowing sawdust high into the air. "What?" squawked Betsy. "Don't worry, Betsy. It's only sawdust," replied Jack. He wasn't surprised that his hen had just spoken to him. After all, Betsy was a magical hen. Sadly, "What?" was the only thing she could say, which made most of their conversations rather one-sided. Jack wiped his feet on the wooden doormat and knocked on the door. He heard booming footsteps from the other side. The door swung open with a creak and a very woody smell. A large man stood in the doorway, covered in wood shavings and holding a lopsided wooden cup. "Well, look who it is," he exclaimed with a smile. "Come on through, Jack." "Red and the others are all out back." He ushered Jack inside, where every surface, and in fact everything, seemed to be made from wood, including the carpet and the curtains. "So how have you been, Jack?" asked Red's dad. "Good, thanks," replied Jack politely. "How about you?" "Oh, good, Jack, very good," exclaimed Red's dad. "In fact, I've just made a breakthrough." "A breakthrough?" asked Jack. "With the wooden socks," replied Red's dad. "Don't you mean woolen socks?" countered Jack. "Woolen socks?" repeated Red's father, as if it was the most ridiculous thing he'd ever heard. "I'm a woodcutter, Jack, not a wool cutter." Right," said Jack. "Do you want to try them on?" asked Red's father, holding out two very solid wooden-looking socks. Not right now," replied Jack. "I'd better catch up with Red, but thanks for the offer." Jack raced through the house and into the garden. The tree house towered up in front of him. Red's dad had carved it out of one giant tree. Jack's friends were all sitting in the main room when he climbed in. "Morning, all," he called out. Red grinned. Rapunzel did her very best curtsy, and the twins waved enthusiastically. "Hey," said Hansel. "Jack," finished Gretel. Hansel and Gretel often finished each other's sentences. Sometimes it could be confusing. "Hey, Jack," called Red. "Do you want the good news or the bad news?" "The good news?" asked Jack hesitantly. "The good news," said Rapunzel, leaving a long pause, "is that there's a ship coming into town from far, far away." "What?" squawked Betsy. Jack gasped. "A boat from far, far away? His dad might have sent him a letter." "Yep," added Red. "It should be arriving any minute. We're going to have a race up to Lookout Point to watch it come in. Last one there's a smelly troll." "So what's the bad news?" asked Jack. "The bad news is that Hansel just tied your shoelaces together," said Rapunzel, and she and everyone else scrambled excitedly from the treehouse. That's the first chapter. I wanted to point out before I stop that I'm not showing any pictures. There are a few in here, but for a chapter book, my goal here is to have you all try and make the pictures in your head and not show you the pictures in the book so that you can start to have a relationship with the reading. Thanks. Catch you next time.